Sometimes when things go wrong, you can't blame life. Cause when you shot your shot, what was your aim like? What were you targeting? Cause if it ain't right, and you still go with it, then that is on you. It's on you, it's on you, it's on you.
What's going on, you guys? This is Romi and Sam, and you are listening to the Mindset Rebooted podcast.
And if you're a first-time listener, thank you so much for stopping by. Here on the Mindset Rebooted podcast, we like to have conversations that help us to elevate the way we think.
So if you get any value out of today's episode, please go ahead and share with one additional person so we can help more people.
And today we're going to be talking about the value, the power in building relationships, right? We talk about these things all the time, but honestly, I think it's good to touch on it one more time because a lot of us are struggling to do those things. A lot of us are thinking that we're doing things the right way, and we think that it's about what we know, and we're cramming to get, as much knowledge and everything, and that's all great. It's all well and good, but in my personal experiences, I've noticed that a lot of my power moves have come based on the relationships that I've built with others.
I agree with that. And I agree with that so much that, certain people, every year there's a theme to their year. Like, oh, this is the year I'm gonna get in shape, or this is the year I'm gonna get financially literate, This year I feel should be the year of building relationships, knowing how to cultivate relationships, maintain relationships, or end relationships when we should end them.
Yeah, what's funny? It's like, remember we were talking earlier and you were like, oh yeah, did you have any goals this year? I was like, honestly, this year my goals are really the same.
Yeah.
They're really the same, and a lot of it is because I'm just continuing to do the exact same things, which was building relationships. Even when I was telling you pre-show, I've been doing some medical device sales, and I've been working with the different VA hospitals and DoD installations. And in my role, it requires me to build relationships. And so I had been going into some of the VA hospitals. I've been, knocking on each department. I've gotten rejected. And it wasn't because of anything wrong that I did, but because, people just do whatever they do, and maybe they have other things that's on their mind. Nevertheless, I was persistent in terms of just being a good, positive light, in terms of just genuinely connecting with others, and just seeing how I can be of assistance, letting them know I'm not really there to sell them a product. I'm really more so there to collaborate with them in providing the best care for our veterans. And so randomly on Thursday, I got a call. I was like, hello? And they were like, hi, is this Samuel? I was like, yeah, this is he. And then the person let me know, like, hey, we really want to get your product in. And that was super unexpected because it looked like that wasn't even gonna happen. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I had been building some key relationships with some people, and based on that, they had been doing a lot of the legwork for me behind the scenes. I did not even know. They were having conversations with people that I wasn't able to have conversations with, people that would have rejected me, like if it was just me approaching them. And what I learned from that lesson was that one of the key things that building relationships does for you is it opens doors that you wouldn't have been able to open yourself. And by virtue of someone trusting someone else, they're like, you know what? I'm gonna now trust you too, specifically because the person I trust is trusting you. So they're good people. And I believe that if they also believe in you and whatever it is you're bringing, you know what? I'm also going to do that. That to me is the power of having, key relationships.
It's like what people say, the best reference or the best referral is a personal referral, right? I don't know if anyone actually said that. But in the sales world, the best leads don't come from people who fill out interest forms, people who are sending a DM to you or responding to an ad. The best leads are always from someone who's been referred.
Yeah.
That's the saying I was trying to get to. I was trying to be all fancy with it, my bad. The way that you were able to get that interaction at that VA because of the relationship you built, I could also say to myself, the last 2 gigs I've done in production in the events world, they were not because I applied on a paperwork. It was because I knew someone who referred me to the person making a decision. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, you need help with these events that you're running? I know someone who could help. That's how I got my last 2 gigs. And I think a lot of people here, in some way, some form, you've used your positive relationships as a way to be able to maybe get a new job, maybe to get someone to do a favor for you. Like for example, I work in a shipping and receiving site. For those of you who are not familiar with that, that's where these big ass trucks come in and you got all these forklift operators, certified forklift operators. So, you know, real stuff right there when we say certified, and there's a safety manager there and all that, right? And my crew, we're operations, we're entertainment. This is not our world. And some of the things when you ship stuff is that you have to put on a pallet, you have to shrink wrap it so that the stuff doesn't move around when it's being transported. Well, the entertainment crew, they don't know any of that. So they're like, well, first off, why are we putting stuff on a pallet? This isn't our job. We're the entertainment department.
Yep.
And they're like, why do we have to shrink wrap it in this miserable weather that with the rain and the cold? It's like, you know, and you're like, I want to say shut the fuck up and get it done because we gotta get it done, right? Because I want to get the job done. It's the last week of the job.
Right.
Why are we complaining the last week? Just get it done and we're done with it.
Facts.
Collect the paycheck. But you know, that's neither here nor there. So I never said that. What I did was I was like, what's the problem? Is it a big deal? What's going on? Ask why instead of berating them for not doing something. And then if they just really are having a temper tantrum about it, go check out, see what's going on. Talk to the dock master. Yo, what happened there? Why were people throwing out like huff and puff? And then they explain the situation. You're like, all right, this is stupid. It's just ego, just conflict of ego where the departments don't know how to interact with each other. Because you have entertainment and ops people trying to talk with construction people, and they usually don't see the world the same way. There's different perspectives. So me trying to build relationships with entertainment and ops and the construction crew, I was like, well, we gotta get these out and ready for y'all to ship out. Because these trucks came in when we didn't expect them to come in, and they need to get their cargo out. And where do you want me to set up? How do you want me to help you accomplish your goal, which helps me accomplish my goal? And by asking questions like that, getting collaborative, we got our job done quick and we helped each other a lot more. Like that conflict that could have happened there between our departments didn't happen because we asked those questions.
That's dope. So like you were essentially like the bridge.
Yeah.
That's the key thing about relationships too, right? Like aside from just you know, getting personal favors, you can also be the bridge that links people together. Like that is super, super awesome, right? We use technology often to link different applications together that are seemingly not supposed to collab. You know, that's the same thing in the real world. You know, people will have different interests and may not even like each other, but when you have key relationships and you're able to get on with everybody, you're able to break down those barriers of miscommunication. You're able to break down those barriers of like, hey, I don't like you and you don't like me, or we just don't understand each other. Nah, it's not really about that. It's really about how can we all come together and get this thing done? And sometimes it takes one person who has a key relationship with everybody. And that's one of the reasons why I don't even like burning bridges. Even when I was in the construction industry prior to what I was doing, you know, I didn't know anything about the construction world, but I was in a construction management role. And so I had to humble myself and understand certain things. And a lot of times that came from me getting with the tradesmen and asking them like, hey, what is it that's like, you know, really a head hurter for you? Things that like other people may not have asked them, but I was genuinely asking them because one, I wanted to understand them. Two, I didn't really know anything. If they're the subject matter experts, I need to give them respect. But then three, I was able to come back with valuable information to my team and be like, hey, this is one of the things that they're thinking, this is what we can do. And so building those relationships, not only was I able to get an understanding going on, but also whenever I actually did need something, they were like, man, you know what, you're pretty cool, let me help you out. And they helped me get through a lot of crappy stuff that I could not do on my own because I didn't have the know-how. And so that was another way in which relationships really helped me, you know.
Here's a way you could build relationship. If you're wondering, how do I build relationship with the people I work with, or even in school or something like that, the easiest way is by showing up and saying hi and greeting everyone as they come by. Learn their names. When you learn their name and you repeatedly say, what's going on, Sam? Every day they come in for work and, hey, I'll see you later, see you tomorrow, Sam. That builds good karma towards you. That builds goodwill towards you. So when I need help, you're willing to help me out because you're like, Romi's been saying hi to me forever. He knows my name. I want to help this dude. And that's how I like that thing about the dock master and the construction site that I gave the example about. That's how I'm able to get them to listen to me. The logistics manager to listen to me like, hey, how can I help you? It's because every day I've said, hey, how you doing? Every day I've said, have a great night. And going on another tangent, because if you know whoever's around you, you say hi to everyone, that means that they start recognizing you, and when they have questions, they're probably gonna ask you more questions.
Yeah.
So here's an example. I worked on a site on a production gig where our HR wasn't really on site. So our HR, HR usually handles scheduling, payroll questions, time corrections, and hey, what are the holiday pays, what are the days off, stuff like that, right? HR wasn't available to answer those questions because they were half remote, half on site, whereas I'm on site all the time. And me being me, I want to know all the answers to questions that people have. I find those answers and I communicate it with everybody. And what happened was all the other staff workers there started coming to me with questions. They started seeing, oh, Romi, he knows my name, he says hi to me every day, and he also looks for the answers to my questions. I trust Romi more, so I'm gonna keep going to Romi.
What's interesting is that I heard you several times while you were talk about what you did every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And that's like a key term, every day. When it comes down to relationship building, it means that it takes you doing something every day, or just often, frequently, something on some type of routine basis, because what you're doing when you form a relationship is you're building trust. I know I can trust somebody when I've gotten to know, like, this is what they consistently do. It lets me know, okay, that's really them. It wasn't just a facade. It wasn't just a one-time thing. It's like, okay, you can fool me once, but like every single time you continue to do this, it shows that it's a habit and it shows that it's part of your character. And so now when I'm building relationships, what I'm really doing is I'm trusting a character. That's what I'm doing. And so by you doing those things every single day, that means that they feel that warm and fuzzy. The other thing too is when you're saying hi to people and you're doing all that, you're letting them know you matter. You are a person, you are of value. And that is one of the biggest things when it comes down to relationship. A relationship is a mutual exchange. It really shouldn't be a take. It should be a give and take. It should be a back and forth. You fill my cup and I also fill yours. And that's what is happening whenever you acknowledge someone and you recognize that they are of equal value the same way you are. Like they are absolutely someone who is worthy of recognition. And that to me, is something that makes me feel good, and I know it's gonna make others feel good. And so that's another key part of building relationships.
Well, I hope we've given you enough food for thought of why building relationships is very important for you, and why it's important for all of us, and how it benefits us as one, how we could help other people build their own relationships and pay it forward.
Yeah. That's all we got for you. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and share this with someone else. And until next time, Mindset Rebooted.
Sometimes when things go wrong, you can't blame life. Cause when you shot your shot, what was your aim like? What were you targeting? Cause if it ain't right, and you still go with it, then that is on you.